Oliver Cromwell was one of the most complex and controversial figures in British history, a man whose rise to power transformed the nation and whose legacy continues to provoke debate. Born on April 25, 1599, in Huntingdon, a market town in eastern England, he was a member of the lesser gentry, the son of Robert Cromwell and Elizabeth Stuart. His family had Puritan leanings, and this deeply influenced his religious and political views. After studying at Sidney Sussex College, Cambridge, he briefly pursued law before returning to manage his modest estate. For much of his early life, Cromwell lived as a country gentleman, struggling financially and suffering bouts of depression, which he attributed to divine trials. However, his fortunes changed in the late 1620s when he inherited property from a relative, allowing him to secure a position in Parliament in 1628. His political career began quietly, but as tensions escalated between King Charles I and Parliament over issues of taxation, governance, and religious policies, Cromwell became increasingly vocal in his opposition to royal authority. By the time civil war broke out in 1642, he had already established himself as a committed Puritan and an advocate for parliamentary supremacy. With no formal military training, Cromwell quickly emerged as an effective cavalry commander, leading his regiment of Ironsides with discipline and religious fervor. His troops, bound by strict moral codes and inspired by their belief that they were fighting God's cause, proved highly effective in battle. His leadership was pivotal in key victories such as the Battle of Marston Moor in 1644 and the decisive Battle of Naseby in 1645, where his forces shattered the Royalist army and effectively sealed the fate of Charles I. As the war progressed, Cromwell played a crucial role in shaping the new model army, a professional and meritocratic fighting force that emphasized skill over noble birth. When Charles I was captured, tried, and executed in 1649, England entered a period of unprecedented political upheaval. Cromwell was instrumental in the creation of the Commonwealth, a republic that abolished the monarchy and House of Lords. However, governance proved difficult, and divisions emerged between different factions, including radical Puritans and more moderate parliamentarians. Cromwell's most infamous campaign came in Ireland, where he led a brutal military expedition in 1649 to crush royalist resistance. His forces massacred thousands at Drogheda and Wexford, actions that left a deep scar in Irish memory and cemented his reputation as a ruthless conqueror. In Scotland, he defeated the royalist forces supporting Charles II, securing England's dominance over its neighbours. Frustrated with the inefficiency and corruption of Parliament, Cromwell dissolved the Rump Parliament in 1653 and assumed the role of Lord Protector, effectively ruling England as a military dictator. His rule was characterized by religious tolerance for Protestants, economic reforms, and efforts to strengthen England's global position, but also by strict Puritan social policies and heavy-handed suppression of dissent. Though he refused the title of king, his governance bore many similarities to monarchy, with his authority resting on military power rather than popular consent. When he died on September 3, 1658, his son Richard briefly succeeded him, but lacking his father's charisma and authority, he was quickly pushed aside. The Protectorate crumbled, and in 1660, the monarchy was restored under Charles II. In a final act of posthumous vengeance, Cromwell's body was exhumed, hanged, and beheaded as a symbol of retribution. His skull was displayed on a spike outside Westminster Hall for decades, a stark reminder of the turmoil of the past. To this day, his legacy remains deeply divisive. Some hail him as a champion of liberty and parliamentary democracy, while others condemn him as a power-hungry tyrant whose actions disrupted the natural order of the monarchy and inflicted suffering on Ireland and Scotland. Regardless of perspective, his impact on British history is undeniable.